Guys, you're able to match them for the first couple of minutes, and then they went on a run there in the first half. The way they shot the ball against you tonight, what were you not doing defensively, or what were they doing offensively that made it hard to try to draw a line in the sand for you guys?
We were kind of just going through the motions. We weren't really guarding with a purpose, as to kind of how we preach and the coaches preach every day in practice. We were just kind of there. We were just there. They were kind of in a rhythm. And when you give a good team like that a rhythm, they're going to make wide open shots.
Why do you think that was the case? You're coming off a 3-game losing streak, and you've had some defensive struggles, and I know you guys worked on that this week. Why do you think that wasn't there?
It's $1 million question. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Were you guys happy with the looks you were getting offensively? I know some nights you just don't shoot it well, but it looked like you had some pretty open threes. It just didn't go down. Did you see some of the looks you were hoping to get as you worked on your offense this week?
Yeah, we missed a couple easy ones, I'm including myself. We took a couple bad ones that hurt us, just not moving the ball or not getting like the paint touch that we preach. But yeah, we got a couple of ones that we usually make knock down against a team like that who's hitting shots and they're connected. It definitely hurts.
As you guys talked this week about wanting to find a little more offensively, what were the things you were keying on?
Just making sure that we got the ball moving. Excuse me. Making the extra pass, the right play, passing up a good shot for a great shot. Just the fundamentals. Just try to get the best look that you got in the 30 seconds that you got the ball, and hopefully you can put it in the basket.
Did this feel like the same old, same old? Is that what's frustrating about it? Is you practice, you have the 3 losses, and you come out and it's kind of the same thing? Did it feel like we're just doing this again and living it again?
The biggest thing is, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, whether it's a bad shot or just not defending well enough. We're very capable. We're in the game most of these games. Goes down to the last couple minutes, and I guess you could say that, yeah, that's what's frustrating.
Did you feel like they were daring you guys to shoot a lot of these 3-pointers tonight in comparison to getting it inside?
I feel like I'm confident in CJ's shooting abilities. I'm confident in all of our shooting abilities. So, in our heads, is if it's a good shot, we're going to take it and we're going to knock it down. So, unfortunately, we missed a couple open looks tonight. But, 10 times out of 10, if it's an open shot, I'm going to swing it one more, and my teammate's going to knock it down. So.
The run that you guys kind of closed the first half on, you made it a game, and then they called the timeout, and they hit the 3 right at the buzzer. What were you talking about in that timeout, and I guess what happened on that possession that seemed to maybe change some momentum going into the half?
We just fell asleep for a second as a whole defense. We switched to zone late there at the end of the half, and for a split second, once you fall asleep on a team like that, they got shooters everywhere and guys who are already comfortable just because of our lack of presence, and obviously he knocked it down, wide open shot.
To start the second half, you guys defensively, I think 3 straight turnovers, and you cut it to 1. They call the timeout again, they hit a 3. How demoralizing was that, where you kind of had the momentum and then they hit the 3 right away?
We know it's going to happen. Teams make runs, teams make shots. So, at that point, obviously it is a little demoralizing, but we're trying to, push forward next play, because we can make a 3 right back and it act like it never happened. So, just got to keep pushing and analyze, learn, and forget, and move on.
Someone had talked about some guys struggling after last game and needing confidence, and you go through that, and then you have another game like this. Just how difficult is that to deal with when you're sort of looking for something and you just can't get it?
I don't think confidence should be an issue with anybody. We've been playing basketball since forever, so at this point, confidence shouldn't be an issue with anybody in the locker room, and I don't think that's it. It's just more so defensively. I think, like Coach said, they shot 50% in both halves, and that just can't happen, especially in the conference play. Teams are good. Teams are, playing for their lives right now, and for us to give up that many open, uncontested, or barely contested shots, it just can't happen.
Duane, I know it's a losing effort, so you probably won't feel good for the team, but for you personally, is this the kind of offensive effort that can build some confidence for you heading into these next couple games?
Yeah, I'm always confident. So whether I'm 0 for 10 or 10 for 10, I'm going to go into every single game with the same mindset, and make the right play, and the shots that I take, hopefully I can make them, and it's just every game. So.
CJ, when you see that that number hitting 55% of threes or 60% of threes against you, what was kind of the difference between the performance against Iowa when you limited the Hawkeyes to 25%? Kind of what was the difference, kind of shift? What did you allow Maryland to do that you didn't allow Iowa to do?
Iowa's kind of a little different type of game just because they were at home and they've been rolling for the last couple of games, and so they were kind of feeling themselves. But it was kind of biggest thing was the same thing, our presence on the ball, off the ball. We kind of weren't connected for the full 40 minutes. I mean, obviously we had spurts and times where we were really good defensively, but just as for the whole game speaking, we weren't good enough. And if that continues to happen, we're going to have the same result.
CJ, you keep talking about, not being ready and things along that line, but you guys have been playing against teams that go like 6'10", 6'11", 6'6" wings. I mean, how do you get around that? This is like every game for the last 4 or 5.
It's kind of what we expected. I mean, we signed up for it ourselves. When we signed the paper to come here, we understand we were going to play against the best. Night in, night out, we're playing against teams that, have goals to make the NCAA tournament. So these teams are good, and they come in prepared. And when we don't come in and play our absolute best, I mean, we'll get exposed.